time to stop getting frustrated over beating the edges of your stained glass pieces and switching to hobby cane. This is a super bendable and thin cane that is perfect for free-floating pieces. I'm going to show you how we apply it. Unlike other cane, you are going to want to foil the exterior of your piece. After you finish soldering, we're going to give our hobby cane a big stretch just like we do with other canes. You can either do this with a lead stretcher or by hand like I do. This is a super important step. You don't want your piece to start sagging in a few years. Now we're going to find a starting point. I like to find a nice corner to get it started in. Make sure that the channel is flush against the front of your piece. And then we begin the wrapping process. I essentially make sure I keep it nice and tight and do a solder pin upon each seam that we come up to. You can also see me using a flat edge to get into these little tight corners. I also want to remind you again to make sure that you are keeping the channel flush to the front of your piece. When it comes to different depths of the glass, a lot of times the glass will be thinner than the channel of the cane, and so you're just going to want to have that excess gap on the back and not the front. Alright, important note here. We love hobby cane because it actually helps secure hinge points like this beak. Between the beak and the bone is actually a rough hinge point, which most pieces would need some sort of wire to help reinforce, but that's why we have hobby cane. It helps reinforce that shit. So we're approaching the end point here, where I'm going to do a quick visual on where I need to do my snippy snip. So my snip actually missed a little bit, but that's alright because we can just fill it with solder and call it a day. Alright, so our next step is to seal the cane to the piece. So you can see what I was talking about here on the back, how we have a large channel gap that we are going to fill in with solder. Again, you would want this on the back and not the front of your piece. So you're going to put flux anywhere that you see exposed copper on the edges. And then just start filling it in with solder. It's pretty simple. Now sometimes you might have to tip your piece to kind of help guide the solder into those gaps. Otherwise, just kind of let it flow. Dude, my cat will not shut up. I don't know if you can hear her. Piggy! I just realized that she got locked in my room upstairs somehow. Did you get locked in here? Whew, sorry about that. Silly kitties. So you'll continue to fill in solder on any exposed copper between your piece and the cane. It's pretty straightforward. Obviously, you'll want to do both sides. Add your choice of hang. I use twisted wire. And you got yourself a nice free-floating stained glass piece with a beautiful finished edge. Now, I will mention that I have seen some stained glass artists that use hobby cane that don't seal it to the foil. I think you get just a much cleaner finish doing it this way, and I also feel like it's just more secure. But everyone has their own method, so I thought I'd share with what I was taught. And with that, happy stained glassing!